At the heart of this violent, bloody case is a love story. A very unusual love story. The Ruxton case is different.
Any investigation before the Ruxton case was ancient history. It changed the way that we investigate serious crime.
Beyond Recognition is a new limited series coming to the Small Town Dicks podcast feed on July 19th.
Don't miss it.
I wanted to tell you about our podcast, Drew Blood's Dark Tales, hosted by me, Drew Blood. We're a weekly storytelling podcast where you'll hear hand-picked horror from our favorite authors, accompanied by a full audio production and performed by yours truly. I invite you to search for Drew Blood's Dark Tales on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you do your listening. And subscribe for longer episodes each and every week.
Congratulations. You've reached the Amelia Project. A new life awaits. If you're not serious about this, hang up. If you continue, there's no way back. Leave your message after the beep.
Enter the offices of the Amelia Project and be ready for surprises, twists and turns. Follow the Amelia team as they help their clients fake their deaths and come back with new identities. Each episode is different. Each client coming to the death-faking agency has a unique story to tell. If death and disappearances, comedy and crime, mystery and magic sounds like your cup of cocoa, The Amelia Project is the podcast for you. Search for The Amelia Project wherever you find your podcasts. And remember, leave your message after the beep.
Hey, I'm Brooke. My friends and I perform spooky stories on our podcast 13. 13 is a movie for your ears, with immersive sound design and music from our composer. And we're not reading you the same old ghost stories from Reddit. With original stories from our in-house writers and submissions from up-and-coming authors, 13 will make you smile, break your heart, and have you wishing for a nightlight. Atmospheric, slow burn, always spooky, and sometimes sexy. Our friends are some of the best voice actors and writers in our little corner of the podcast industry. So if you want to find out why those figures in black keep meeting by the water just before dawn, why you should never sleep in a room with an empty chair, or why you hear faint music echoing from the abandoned mall, join us by following 13 wherever you're listening right now. That's 13, the word, not the number, all spelled out. Bridget Howard keeps asking for my teeth. Wherever you get your podcasts.
It strikes her in the gloom so fast she barely has time to scream. She falls into the edge of the lamplight and lies there, bleeding, motionless. The man's skin is scaly, flaking, and there are patches of soot on his cheeks. He's one of them. I turn and run, and I don't look back.
The Road of Shadows. Listen now at theroadofshadows.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I wouldn't usually.
That's okay.
So.
Hello? Yeah, I'm sure. 1 second.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
There was some discussion as to whether Johan is staying.
Mm-hmm.
He says not, but I thought it could be best for someone else to be here.
Would you prefer him to stay?
I'm not sure.
Look, this is an informal chat, but if you feel more comfortable with him staying there, then that's absolutely fine with me.
No, it's okay.
You sure?
Yes, yeah, I'm sure. 1 second. All good. I have her on the line.
Okay, so I'm okay to leave, yes?
Yeah.
I'll go then, yes, okay.
Okay.
Right, well listen, thanks for joining me on this call. My name's Tessa. I'm a Detective Chief Inspector in London. Firstly, I do need to let you know that this conversation has been recorded, and that's just basically so I can keep on top of everything here in London, yeah? So now, the statement I'm about to say is exactly what I've said to everybody, and it's going to sound incredibly formal, but it's just so that everybody understands where I'm coming from and where we all are legally, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Well, look, this interview, conversation really, it's in relation to the death of Dr. Andrew Fairfield. The aim is to establish accounts from everybody stationed at Bowers Wilson to gain an understanding of the circumstances surrounding his death and to establish the course of his dying. You are not suspected of committing any offence at this time, and as such, you are not under arrest, and this interview is not being conducted under police caution. Do you understand all that, Bridget? Is that clear?
Yeah, absolutely.
You multilingual, you're really putting me to shame here.
No, I grew up speaking English with my mother, so I have an unfair advantage.
Aha, okay, well, I'm going to take that. Right, for the recording, I'm DCI Tessa McAllister. Please feel free to call me Tessa. The time is 03:36 a.m. GMT on the 26th of June, 2023. Would you mind stating your name, please, Bridget?
Bridget Meisner.
Thanks. Oh, sorry, am I okay to call you Bridget?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Right, look, firstly, can I just say how sorry I am? I can only imagine that things are pretty tough for you guys at the moment. How are you doing?
I'm okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
And are you feeling okay to have a wee bit of a chat about the night Drew died?
Yeah, I do. I think anything we can all do is, well, it's very important right now, so we all have a duty to do what we can.
Okay, well, look, I appreciate that. That's really helpful. So, can you describe to me what you were doing the evening Drew died?
So it was the midwinter party. That's a traditional thing to do, the 21st of June, solstice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that means in Antarctica?
Yeah, you go ahead and tell me, yeah.
Okay, so the 21st of June is the day that is entirely night. After that, the light starts coming back again, so there's a party. And we had dinner, and everyone was there except Mark, of course. Wait, do you know about Mark?
I do, yeah.
He ate dinner in his room, so after dinner, people kind of separated into groups. Victor and I wanted to watch a movie, so yeah, that's what we did.
Could I ask about your time in the canteen? I believe there was a bit of an argument, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Could you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So Felipe kicked off at Drew about his ulterior motives on the base, and then everyone kind of joined in.
And did you join in?
No. That was kind of why I was up for watching the film. I think I wanted to leave the room.
Is there anything more you can tell me about the argument?
Well, it was uncomfortable to watch. Everyone was like trying to get their pound of flesh. You know, Jack made a comment about Sienna and Drew, and that wasn't nice for Maria. I mean,
can you remember what that comment was, Bridget?
Not 100%, but I could be paraphrasing.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
So it was a dig at Drew about how he loved secrets, especially given how he and Sienna are carrying on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks, Bridget. What time did you and Victor leave the party?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'd say like 8:45-ish, if not before.
Mm-hmm. Right, go on, please.
Yeah, so we stuck the film on. It was very long. I managed to stay awake, which was honestly a miracle. I was very tired that night. I was looking forward to going to bed, to be honest, but I was almost asleep when it finished. And then I went to my room, went to bed, but well, I was woken up by the news that they found Drew's body.
Okay, thanks so much for going through that with me. Just so I can make sure that I've got this absolutely right in my head. You had dinner. After dinner, you and Victor wanted to watch a film. And after it ended, you went to bed, but then you woke up with the news that Drew's body had been found. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
I'd love to focus in on a bit more detail here, if that's okay. It just helps me get a full picture of what's going on that night at the base, yeah? As a backdrop, really.
Yeah, sure.
Firstly, I'm intrigued to know what film you were watching.
Heat.
Haha, yes. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, big hitters.
Yeah, yes. It's not usually my kind of film. But Victor had been talking about it for months as this sort of like classic,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always quoting lines from it. So I thought now is as good a time as any.
Well, good for you. Where did you watch it?
In the games room, someone had set up a monitor. So I don't know if you've been told this, but Mark smashed up the big television.
Mm-hmm.
But this was fine for like a couple of people.
And did anyone else come into the games room while you were watching the film?
Yeah, well, Maria popped her head in looking for Drew, and she was with Johan, I think. I'm not sure if that was then or later, but honestly, it was the sort of film you have to concentrate on, or it completely kind of like lacks meaning, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. What sort of time did the film end?
It was maybe 2.5 hours long, maybe longer. I think I could look up the length of the movie, but yeah. Anyway, it was late.
Okay, Bridget. So then you went to your room. Was that just to go to bed? Was it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you see anyone on the way to your room?
Well, Victor, obviously, he was walking with me.
So Victor walked you to your room. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Should I have said that? He insisted on walking me to my room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though it's indoors, and obviously I'm very capable of finding my room myself, but I think he sees me as, I don't know, like a lot younger, and maybe felt some responsibility to do that. Honestly, it was quite sweet, really.
Are you fond of Victor, Bridget?
I don't know. I don't want to say indifferent because that sounds really mean, but I like everyone. I appreciate it, but that's all.
Okay. Were you aware, Bridget, at any point that there was a search going on for Drew?
Well, like I said, Maria had popped in during the film to look for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to bed. I mean, obviously, I didn't think, like, in my wildest thoughts that he would be dead. I don't know.
Listen, Bridget, it's okay.
No, I should have stayed awake. Well, it helped. I don't know, I'm sorry.
No, these questions aren't here to catch you out or confuse you. They're really just to help me understand everybody's movements. There's zero judgment here, Bridget.
Yeah, just...
You take your time.
Yeah, I just can't believe he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must be a horrible shock. Were you close to Drew?
Yes and no. I mean, everyone here is close in a way. I mean, you can't get away from anyone physically, so...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I like Drew. He was a decent guy, and he was always nice to me. And he was just here doing his job. I mean, we're all here to work. Nobody expects to die. He was a behavioral scientist, for Christ's sake. I mean, not a Navy SEAL. I mean, sure, yeah, we all take risks being in Antarctica. We've all signed waivers. It's a dangerous place, but no one actually starts this job and expect to die or like anything to happen. I don't know. I can't sleep. I can't close my eyes knowing that maybe someone among us did this.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand.
It strikes her in the gloom so fast she barely has time to scream. She falls into the edge of the lamplight and lies there, bleeding, motionless. The man's skin is scaly, flaking, and there are patches of soot on his cheeks. He's one of them. I turn and run, and I don't look back.
The Road of Shadows. Listen now at theroadofshadows.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Bridget, how did you get on with everybody else there on the base?
Fine. I mean, it was a really nice group of people, obviously, until things started to... I don't know, first it was Mark, then Drew.
Well, listen, thanks for talking me through all of that. I know it's far from easy, but I'd love to ask just a few more questions, if that's okay with you. How would you describe your relationship with Christoph?
How do you mean?
Well, could you tell me if you two are close at all?
I don't really see how that's important.
Bridget, rest assured, nobody's on trial here. It's just really hard for me to understand the dynamics of the group there without me actually being with you guys. So Look, forgive me if I'm sounding a bit nosy or asking questions you don't want to answer. It's just so that I can understand where Drew fitted into the jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Christoph and I were friends. We're similar ages, and we're both from Germany, so we have a lot in common. Same cultural references, same kids' TV shows, same social media interests. I mean, we made these TikToks together, and they were a lot of fun.
Oh, the videos?
Yeah, exactly. The kind of, things that we both like doing, snowboarding, some challenges, frozen food. Honestly, it was silly.
Sounds a lot of fun.
I mean, it was just meant to be joyful, But okay, so we started sleeping together, but honestly, all got a bit much. It kind of like a bit too heavy too quickly, and so we both decided to stop. So the TikTok stopped too.
If you don't mind me asking this, Bridget, what do you mean by it all started to get a bit much?
Well, it was just 0 to 100. We were around each other like all the time. Cooked up together, sleeping together, socializing together. So.
And how do you mean by heavy?
Okay, I'm not sure he'd ever had a girlfriend before.
Did he say that to you?
Well, he's very young. At least he acts very young, and he doesn't understand that you need to give people space in a relationship. And I was kind of feeling, this sounds so mean, but I was like feeling claustrophobic, so I put an end to it.
And that's when your TikTok stopped too, is it?
Well, we got a lot of trolls attacking us.
Really?
Yeah, really nasty comments.
Like what? If you don't mind me asking.
So silly, but it's like how attention-seeking I am, or the state of my skin. Like, I'm in the Antarctic, I have one shower gel, and there's no daylight. Like, what's your business to do with my fucking skin? But
Absolutely.
honestly, I thought I understood the darker side of social media, but yeah, it was really toxic.
God's sake, well, what's wrong with people? I don't understand it myself.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know how you younger people deal with it. It's just such pressure. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Can I ask, how are you and Christoph getting on now?
To be honest, not so great. He's a typical male and can't deal with anything emotionally, and showing his immaturity by keeping his distance. Surprise, surprise.
That can't be very nice for you.
Well, I feel like I should have seen it coming. It was actually Christoph playing these pranks on other crew members. Like the salt and the coffee and the flickering lights. Everyone thinks it was Victor, but it wasn't. Victor's a pretty cool guy, actually.
Right. Yeah, I heard about these jokes from Drew's diaries.
But they were more than jokes. I mean, hiding someone's toothbrush is funny for 1 minute, maybe, if you're a kid. But here, you can't just go out and buy another toothbrush, obviously. Your teeth aren't brushed. You have Jaslene as your dentist. Everything is higher stakes.
Yeah.
And the dumbbell that landed on Mark's foot, that could have really hurt him.
What else was he doing, Bridget?
Changing people's alarm clocks, messing with their sleeping rhythms, which is fucked up. Mixing up their laundry in the laundry room, like fucking with people's heads.
That's quite a dangerous game to play in a pressurized situation like you're in.
Yeah.
Why do you think he was doing that?
I don't know. Everyone kind of thinks of him as this kind of like happy-go-lucky person, but he's not at all. He's unbelievably manipulative, and I don't know, I feel like he really got a kick out of people blaming someone else.
Could you explain to me why everybody would blame these pranks on Victor then?
I don't know. Victor's kind of how do I say it nicely?
Oh, listen, you don't have to say it nicely to me. You can just say how it is.
Well, Victor has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. That's what my mum would say. He's recently divorced, and he's very bitter about it. His wife left him. I think it was pretty bad.
And has he had any problems with people on the base?
No, and just generally, I think he was quite pessimistic on base. He was always talking about how badly he's paid by Keone, and he's really pissed people off. People kind of saw him as bitter, and yeah, honestly, I don't know how else to describe it, but yeah, bitter.
Okay. No, that's a good description, thank you. Did Christoph target anyone in particular with these pranks?
I don't think so. It was kind of a free-for-all.
Mm-hmm. And there was no reason really behind them that you know of?
Well, I was convinced the tricks were for some social media thing, like for his own amusement. I don't know, I don't like to see myself as a victim, but maybe I was the one targeted the most, you know.
How do you mean, Bridget?
Oh, 1 minute he's all over me, and the next he's actively avoiding me. Just like a child. It's a game to him. It's just not fun for anyone else.
No, that doesn't sound fun at all. Well, listen, thanks for being so open with me. I really do appreciate it. Listen, Bridget, we're also asking everybody on the base to hand their phones over so we can get a copy of the data on them. Would that be something you'd be happy to do?
Yeah.
Everyone will get their phones back, I promise. It's just to get the data. It doesn't take long.
Well, good luck separating Christoph and his phone. It's like a third arm for him, but sure. No, I'm happy to hand my phone over.
Great. Thanks, Bridget. Right. Last two simple questions. Were you aware that the new coats had GPS in them?
The coats? Yeah, sure. I mean, I read the manuals for all the gear. Honestly, it drives me crazy when people don't read instructions and then they say they don't know how to use something.
Right.
RTFM. Have you heard that before?
No.
Read the fucking manual. I mean, what else is there to do here but read? I mean, it passes the time. So.
That's great. Oh, I'm absolutely going to use that one. Okay. Last question, Bridget. Are you left or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay. Well, listen, I think that's everything for now.
Okay. I hope that was okay.
Yeah. You were great. And look, please know, anything else you want to discuss that wasn't covered, you just contact me. I've made sure everybody's got access to my details via Johan, so that should be easy if you need to, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Great. All right then, thanks, Bridget.
Bye.
For the recording, the time is now 03:51 a.m. GMT.
Get all the files now. Sign up at coldtapes.com and go ad-free.
It strikes her in the gloom so fast she barely has time to scream. She falls into the edge of the lamplight and lies there, bleeding, motionless. The man's skin is scaly, flaking, and there are patches of soot on his cheeks. He's one of them. I turn and run, and I don't look back.
The Road of Shadows. Listen now at theroadofshadows.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.